Everyone, in this video, we're going to be breaking down Leadership 101 and how to save 20 to 40 hours per week, make more money while gaining more respect, credibility, and trust from your employees and anybody that you're dealing with in business. The first and most important rule of leadership is to be impeccable with your word, down to the smallest of promises. If you say a meeting's going to start at this time, don't start at 15 minutes later. If you say you're going to have a competition for your sales team next month, make sure you do it. Never promise something when you're in a really great mood because you're going to have to stick to it. When you keep small promises, what happens is a leader's trust and respect and power grows. Because if you make a statement, people they say, well, everything else he said came true and he stuck to. So if they say you need to close 5 deals per month and that's the standard, then they know you're not joking. Your respect will go through the roof. It's interesting. Humans crave structure. Humans instinctively like to wing things. They like to try the laziest way of getting anything done. So if they see someone that's their leader, that is where they want to be in life, is honorable, truly cares about them, but provides structures that if they follow is proven to give them more success, they will respect you. Yes, they'll probably like you, but they will truly respect you as someone that they look up to and are willing to be guided by. Second thing is to have structures and policies in place that are easy to follow and simple to understand. You can never go back on your word, but you can change policies by resetting expectations. So I'm going to give you a very simple example. Let's say that the standard for your company is 4 deals per month for whatever you sell. And let's say that you and the executive team after 6 months realize your company has improved, your sales team has gotten better, and you want to change the standard to 5. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but you have to reset expectations of that standard, what it consists of, and what happens if you missed it. That is a policy. So you would have a team meeting, whether in person or via Zoom, and you would explain what the change is, why you're doing it, and what comes with it to make sure every single person is on board. There's nothing wrong with that. Another thing is structure, right? A mistake that I made early on is we'd have a big lead list, we'd hire sales reps, we'd train them all week, and they'd say, okay, cool, go. We'd have some reps that would call hundreds and hundreds of people and work really hard, and then we'd have some call 15. And at first, as a leader, I'd get so irritated. I go, why would this person, day one, not call a bunch of people? What I realized is it was actually my fault and my leadership team's fault for setting an expectation in our minds that we weren't clarifying and mutually agreeing upon with the people that we were managing. So what we realized is, on average, it takes 100 calls to get 2 appointments for that specific business. So what we did is we set a company-wide standard, and for anybody that was starting out, that they need to either set 2 appointments per day or call 100 people. If they call 3 people and 2 of them set, they don't have to set any more appointments. But if they do neither, meaning even if you have a rough day, which everyone does, but if they don't take the actions that will create success, then they get pulled from fresh live leads the next day. This incentivizes people taking the right effort and the right structure that will give them success. And I remember the first time I introduced that company, they go, oh, that's fair. That's actually a great rule. It makes sense. One of the things that we promise them is the more appointments that you set and the more deals you close, the more fresh leads you get, because we want you to make more money and help grow this business. 3, teach people how to think for themselves. A huge mistake that managers make early on is the second someone asks a question or calls them with a problem, they immediately provide the answer. Well, here's why. If the second someone calls you with a problem or a question, you give them that answer, you start to train them that every time they have a problem, the manager or their leader above them is the person that's supposed to give them the answer and think for them. This creates a crutch, and it causes that person to not grow nor actually think for themselves. So the simple way to fix this is, oh, great question, man. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think it is? 7 times out of 10, they usually know the answer. They were just a little bit unsure. The second thing is, well, let me ask you this. What have you looked through so far to try to find the answer? And I've had some reps go, Grant, just give me the answer, early on, or if I know them really well. And I'm like, no. I want you to think for yourself. I don't want to be a Google search engine for you. You're more than capable. Where have you looked? I haven't looked anywhere yet. Okay, got you. Show you a couple of resources. And this is what we did. We put together a simple process for when you don't know what to do. Step 1, go to the question thread in our Slack channel that has all of our managers in it and any of our sales reps. And we have one for each department. And we have in there pinned every single standard operating procedure and FAQ sheet where they can find an answer to it. If it's not in there, they can ask the question in the question thread where somebody on the team or a manager can likely answer, and the entire department will be able to see it as well. The third answer is ask ChatGPT or Google. And the fourth answer is go to your manager. Okay? So we won't answer a question for them unless they've gone through those processes, because we want our people to think for themselves. When I learned this, I went from getting 15 to 30 calls a day to barely getting a call, and I don't even answer random calls unless it's scheduled now. I remember the first week I finally experienced true delegation and much better leadership on my part. I didn't know what to do. I was getting no calls, yet we were still closing deals and making money. So teach your people how to think for themselves. Always lead with your actions. If you want your company to dress better, you need to dress better. If you want your company to be on time, you need to be on time. If you want your company to be respectful and impeccable with its word, then you need to do those things. Always remember that they never miss a beat. I remember being a high school quarterback, and I was a starter for a high school called Dickinson High School, just outside of Houston, Texas. And I was warming up, and I was so zoned out, thinking about something different, that I was doing the wrong stretch. And everyone kind of started laughing and go, Grant, what are you doing? And I was like sitting here like, why are they all looking at me? Why aren't they focused on stretching? But then I'm like, I'm the quarterback. Of course they're staring at me. Everyone's always looking at the quarterback. Everyone is always looking at you as the business owner or the CEO. So if you want change to happen, start with yourself, and then it will ripple to every part of your business. 5, this is a very underrated tip. Always have something big that your people are looking forward to. It could be a competition. It could be a promotion. It could be a bonus. It could be beating another company. It could be setting a company record. It could be a team event next Friday. If you don't control what your people are focusing on, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, other companies, ads, their wife, their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their husband is going to take that place in their mind. And when that happens, that's when your people start quitting, start leaving, start starting companies, start stealing leads, start doing all types of things. So always control the momentum, the narrative, and the conversation that's happening in your business. And real quick, guys, I want to give you 2 quick resources. One is I put together a 5-hour Business Mastery 1 course that's completely free. There's a link below. All you need is your email address. And if you're a business owner doing at least $500,000 in sales and you want to scale and grow, I have a mentorship group that's by application only. All you have to do is click Grant Mick Consulting below and book a quick call, and we'll see if it's a good fit. If you guys enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below, share it with another friend that it will help. And most importantly, win the week and have an amazing day. Thank you guys. Much love.